Okay, this is the first question from the Chapter 4 study guide, and we don't have any common factors. We don't have a difference of two squares. It's not a perfect square trinomial. This is just an area diamond. So remember the product of x squared and negative 12 is negative 12x squared, and this product is the same. That's a pattern that we noticed. And when we're building with tiles, we would have a set of x tiles here, a set of x tiles here. They would sum up to 1x. So we're looking for two numbers that when we multiply them, we get negative 12x squared. When we add them, we get 1x. So 4 and 3, 4x, 3x. Now, one of those needs to be negative because when we multiply them, you get a negative 12x. But when you add them, you get a positive 1. So if we want the 1 to be positive, we're going to make the 3 negative. So 4x, negative 3x. You're looking for the length and the width of this rectangle. So this is one that could easily be built with tiles. If you are still struggling with any of this, come in for Saturday or come in after school and we can build this. We can try to help you make sense of this. X times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. X times 4 is 4x. So this factors into x minus 3 times x plus 4. This is the sum of all of the tiles together. There are 4 x tiles here, 3 red x tiles here, 1 x squared tile here, and 12 red unit tiles here. That's the sum of all of those tiles. This is the length and the width. Area of a rectangle is length times width, so the length times the width equals the area. Okay, let me look at the second question. So our second question says x squared plus 5x, which does not look like the other quadratics that we factored because it's missing the constant term. So we did this pretty quickly. It was a Friday, and we talked about if you're missing a term, you can always just put 0 as a placeholder. So I'm going to put plus 0 because that's not changing the value of this expression if I add 0 to it. And it makes it look a little bit more, it looks like a quadratic in standard form. No common factors, nothing special going on there, just area diamond with a 0 in the place of the constant. So x squared times 0 is 0x squared. 5x is my x term. So I'm looking for factors of 0 that are going to add up to 5. Well, obviously one of those has to be 0. So 0x times 5x is going to be 0x squared. And then 0x plus 5x is going to be 5x. So 0x and 5x. And it doesn't matter where you're putting these two terms. I could have put the 0 here and the 5 here. That doesn't matter. Okay, I know x times x is x squared. I know x times 5 is 5x. X times 0 would be 0x, and 0 times 5 would be 0. So this is going to factor into x plus 0 times x plus 5. X plus 0 is just x. So you could just write x times x plus 5. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at this, and 17 and 30 are not divisible by the same number, so we don't have any common factors. So, again, we're just talking about a regular area diamond, which hopefully at this point is easy. Okay, 2x squared times 30, 60x squared. Negative 17x is my sum. So I'm looking for two terms that when I multiply them, I get 60x squared. When I add them, I get negative 17x. Okay, so I'm going to try and think of some factors of 60. 6 times 10 is 60, but that's not going to add up to 17, or negative 17. 5 times 12 is 60. And if I were to make both of them negative, they would add up to negative 17. So I'm going to make 5 negative and 12 negative. Negative 5 times negative 12, that's positive 60. Negative 5 plus negative 12 is negative 17. So negative 5x, negative 12x. Okay, so now remember, whatever goes at the end of this row or at the bottom of the column, it has to be a factor of everything on that row or everything in that column, every term in that column. So I'm looking at this. I know this is going to be 2x and x, and I'm going to put the 2x here because it can't go here because 2x is not a factor of negative 5x. So 2x here, x at the bottom. 2x times what is negative 12x? Well, that's going to be a negative 6. X times what is negative 5x? That's got to be a negative 5. And check and see. Negative 5 times negative 6 is positive 30. So this factors into 2x minus 5 and x minus 6. Okay. For number 4, we've got 3 terms that are all divisible by 3. So I'm going to do the circles. You don't have to do the circles. I'm just doing this in case you're wondering, how is she figuring this out? You may just look at this and say, oh, I know 3 goes into all of those. That's fine. Okay, so 3 times x is 3x squared. 18 is 3 times 6. 6 is 2 times 3. So this is 2 times 3 times 3 times x. That's 18x. 24, that's 12 and 2. 12 is 2 and 6. 6 is 2 and 3. So this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 for 24. Okay, so as you can see, there's a 3 as a factor for each term. That goes in the center. And what's left over, that's what's going to be left in your parentheses. Okay, so we're going to factor out that 3. 3 times what is 3x squared? 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times what is 18x? 3 times 6x is 18x. 3 times what is 24? 3 times 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Okay, so now we can factor x squared plus 6x plus 8 using area diamond. And yes, you do have to show work on the test. No work, no credit. That usually benefits you if you get an answer that's wrong, and I can see if you did, maybe you did the process right, but you just messed up with a positive or a negative or something small, I can give you most of the points. But you do have to show work, and I do want you to do area diamond for this test. Okay, 6x. Okay, so factors of 8x squared that add up to 6x. 2x and 4x. 2x times 4x is 8x squared. 2x plus 4x is 6x. Okay, we know this is going to be x times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. X times 2 is 2x. So our final answer, and be careful not to forget about that 3. Our final answer is going to be 3 times x plus 2 times x plus 4. With a small test, or a smaller test, if you know, each question is going to really be important. So make sure you practice these enough where you can do them and do them correctly without looking at your notes. And if you want more to practice with, I can give you more. Okay. For number 5, we have a difference of 2 squares. So the plan is we're going to go over this super quick on a Friday. And a difference of 2 squares, a squared minus b squared, always factors into a plus b times a minus b. You can do area diamond, but you don't have to. There's no common factors, and I'm recognizing this is a perfect square. 5x times 5x is 25x squared. This is a perfect square. 6 times 6 is 36. So there's A and there's B. So this is going to factor into 5x plus 6 and 5x minus 6. Now, if you're totally lost with that, if you didn't figure out that pattern when we were doing it in class, you could do area diamond. The only thing you would have to do is you would have to rewrite this as 25x squared plus 0x minus 36 because it's missing that x term. Okay, if you do area diamond, watch this section. If you're good with noticing that it's a difference of 2 squares, you can skip over this part. I think this might be the last part of this video because it's getting a little long. And you can just go to the next video. Okay, so 25x squared, negative 36. Now, this is not going to be fun because you're dealing with, okay, 900. Well, maybe it won't be too bad. 900x squared. Okay, it's not bad. You're looking for factors of 900 that add up to 0, so that's going to be 30 and 30. Oh wait, I forgot something. That's negative 900. 20 positive times negative 900 that add up to 0. So 30, positive 30x and negative 30x, that would, if I multiply them, I get negative 900. If I add them, I get 0. Now you might be saying to yourself, oh, that's not so bad. I'm just going to do area diamond. I would be careful about that. I'm not so sure it's always going to be an easy number like 900 to figure out the factors. But now that I think about it, it probably will be. Okay, so we've got 30x and negative 30x. I know this is going to be 5x and 5x. 5x times negative 6 is negative 30x. 5x times positive 6 is positive 30x. So again, we get the same answer, 5x plus 6, 5x minus 6.